So let's start with our second part of this chapter, where we will going to study about Ashoka being a unique ruler, war of Kalinga, and Ashoka's Dhamma. So let's start. We should know first that Ashoka was a great ruler. Before the Kalinga war, he went on to capture so many different places around India and in India. He was a great ruler, but at the same time, he was cruel and shrewd. He wanted to capture more and more land under or states, kingdoms under his control. He being a unique ruler, that all his prosperity, all his praises are written on as an inscripted on the Ashokan pillar, or that's the same pillar from where the national emblem is taken, the four-faced lion. It's all written in Prakrit language, and the script is Brahmi. Prakrit was the language of the common people at that time. So his inscriptions, his messages that he wrote are all written all around the places you will find. Now we come to the War of Kalinga. Now this was a turning point in Ashoka's life. In this War of Kalinga, he had his father Bindusar was always wanted to capture Kalinga, but because of the people of Kalinga led a fierce battle, he couldn't capture, he always wanted so. So after the death of Bindusar, Ashoka went on capturing Kalinga. Now when he went on war went in war with Kalinga, Kalinga is now known as Odisha. So later it was called as Kalinga. So when he went into war with Kalinga, they gave a tough fight to Ashoka. And in that battle, every day the battle used to go on for days. Now the battle used to start in the morning with sunrise and used to finish with sunset. And then again the next day the battle used to start. So this is how in the early time the battle used to go on. You must have heard about the Mahabharata also. Like that also the war used to start with sunrise and used to end with sunset. So every day they were fighting. There was a lot of bloodshed. Everywhere just was blood, people crying, people hurt, So one day when Ashoka was just on a walk in the battlefield, he saw the bloodshed, he saw people crying, losing their loved ones, people dying, people are just, hurt, all over blood was there. So that is what moved him so much, that made him to give up war. He just gave up war and he started a new life. That was a turning point in his life. Ashoka was the only king who won Kalinga and just gave it up. So he, in the history of the world actually, who gave up conquest after winning the war. That situation, the thing that he saw on the warfield changed him completely, and that is what he turned and left everything and he totally worked for the people, for the peace, prosperity, and for the people he started working in. And that is the next thing, that is the next topic, that Ashoka's Dhamma. Now why it is called Ashoka's Dhamma? Now Ashoka Dhamma didn't mean that it did not involve worship of God. Now it's not kind of a religion. Okay, Ashoka's Dhamma, when we say Dhamma, it is not a religion or a worship or a sacrifice performance. No, it is just rules and regulations that the people had to follow in his kingdom. So he felt that just as a father tries to teach his children, he had duty to instruct his subjects. That means the people that is living in his kingdom. He was also inspired by the teaching of Buddha. Yes, as he gave up war and he started for the betterment of the people. That means he's also followed the path of ahimsa. So there were a number of problems and that troubled him. People in the empire followed different religions and this sometimes led to conflict. So animals were sacrificed, slaves and servants were ill-treated. Besides that, there were quarrels in the family, among neighbors. So everything was very disturbing when Ashoka learned about all these things. So he felt that it is his duty to solve all these problems. So he appointed Dhamma Mahamata. Okay, so that was the officials that he appointed were known as Dhamma Mahamata. And they were the people who used to be, were the ones who used to spread the teachings of Dhamma. Now, beside Ashoka got his messages inscribed on the rocks and pillars and his instructions to the officers. So, Ashoka also sent messengers. He himself sent his son and daughter to different parts of the world to spread the message of Dhamma to Sri Lanka, to Egypt, to Syria, to Greece. He sent his son and daughter to spread the teachings of Dhamma all over the world. So here we come to the end of our chapter where we studied about Ashoka, how he was a unique ruler. Kalinga War, what turned him, that was a turning point in his life and that made him leave war and lead to the path of ahimsa. And Dhamma, that was the set of rules and instructions for the common people of his kingdom to follow it, and to spread the Dhamma, he appointed Dhamma Mahamatas, and they were the officials who used to spread and the Dhamma and used to see that these rules are being followed by the kingdom, by the people in this kingdom. And to spread Dhamma, he himself sent his daughter and son to parts of Sri Lanka, Syria, Egypt and many other parts in the world. So I hope you have understood the chapter well and please read the chapter and find the answers.